Taurus. Do this instead of overthinking, a simple reset. If you are a Taurus who has been stuck in your own head lately, replaying old conversations, second-guessing decisions you already made, and lying awake at night wondering if you are on the right path, then what you are about to hear could quietly change everything. This is not just another list of generic advice. This is a reset, a real one, the kind that meets you exactly where you are right now. Exhausted from thinking too much, tired of spinning in circles, and ready for something that actually works. You have probably felt it building for a while now. That weight in your chest that comes not from doing too much, but from holding too much inside. You keep analyzing. You keep weighing every option. You keep telling yourself you will figure it out tomorrow. But tomorrow turns into next week. Next week turns into next month. And the cycle continues. Here is the truth most people will not tell you. Overthinking is not a sign of intelligence. It is a sign that your energy is stuck. And when a Taurus gets stuck, the whole world feels heavier than it should. But there is a way out. Not through more thinking, through something far simpler. And by the end of this, you will know exactly what that is. Stay with me. Every single tip ahead was designed for your sign, your energy, and your specific patterns. Let us begin. Tip 1. Stop waiting for the perfect moment and start with what you have. There is something that happens to a Taurus when they start overthinking. They begin to believe that the right action requires the right moment. They tell themselves they will start that new routine when the timing is better. They will have that important conversation when they feel more prepared. They will make that big decision once all the facts are perfectly lined up. But here is the quiet trap in that kind of thinking. The perfect moment never arrives. It does not exist. It never has. What exists is right now. This breath. This day. This single, unrepeatable window of time that you are sitting in at this very second. And the longer you wait for conditions to be ideal, the more time slips past you without anything changing at all. This is not about being reckless. A Taurus is never reckless. You are careful, measured, and deeply thoughtful. Those are real strengths. But there is a difference between being thoughtful and being frozen. And when overthinking takes over, it disguises itself as wisdom. It tells you that hesitation is just being smart. It tells you that waiting is the responsible thing to do. But deep down, you know the truth. You are not waiting because you need more information. You are waiting because you are afraid of getting it wrong. Let that land for a moment. Because once you see it clearly, it loses its power over you. Fear of making the wrong choice is what keeps most people from making any choice at all. And for a Taurus who values stability and security above almost everything else, the idea of choosing wrong feels like the ground cracking beneath your feet. But think about this. How many times in your life have you made a decision that felt terrifying in the moment, only to look back later and realize it was exactly what needed to happen? How many times has the thing you feared turned out to be the thing that freed you? You do not need everything to be perfect. You need to begin. Start with what you have. Start where you are. If the only thing you can do today is one small act of forward motion, take it. Write the first sentence. Make the first call. Take the first step outside. It does not have to be grand. It does not have to be impressive. It just has to be real. That is how a Taurus breaks free from the loop. Not by thinking harder, by moving at all. And once you start, something incredible happens. The momentum builds. The fog lifts. And suddenly, the path that felt so unclear begins to reveal itself. One step at a time. There is a reason you are drawn to things that are solid and lasting. You want what you build to matter. And that desire is beautiful. But it can also become the very thing that keeps you from building anything at all. Because when the standard is perfection, nothing ever feels good enough to start. The blank page stays blank. The dream stays a dream. And the life you want remains just out of reach. Not because you cannot have it, but because you keep telling yourself the conditions are not right yet. They are. They have been for a long time. You were never meant to figure it all out in your head. You were meant to figure it out by living. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Start now. Let the imperfect beginning lead you somewhere extraordinary. Because it will. It always does. Tip 2. Give your mind a place to land instead of letting it float. One of the biggest reasons overthinking takes hold of a Taurus is that your thoughts have no container. They are just floating, moving around inside your head with no structure, no boundaries, no landing place. And when that happens, your mind starts to spiral. One thought leads to another, which leads to a fear, which leads to a memory, which leads to a question that has no answer. And before you know it, you have spent an entire afternoon sitting in the same chair, mentally exhausted but physically unmoved. This is where most advice fails you. People will say things like just stop thinking about it or just let it go. And if you are a Taurus, you know how useless that sounds. You cannot just stop thinking. Your mind does not have an off switch. What it does have, though, is a need for structure. And that is actually your secret weapon. You do not need to silence your mind. You need to give it somewhere to go. Here is what that looks like in real life. When a thought starts circling, write it down. Not in your head. On paper. In a notebook. On the back of an envelope. Does not matter where. What matters is that the thought leaves your mind and lands somewhere physical. Because once it is on paper, it stops being this overwhelming, shapeless worry. It becomes a sentence. A few words. Something you can look at, evaluate, and decide what to do with. You would be amazed at how many of your biggest worries shrink to almost nothing once they are out of your head and sitting on a page in front of you. But it goes deeper than that. Your mind needs routine the way your body needs food. When you have a regular time and place to process your thoughts, they stop ambushing you at random moments. You begin to train your brain that there is a time for thinking. And there is a time for being. Most Taurus people skip this step because it seems too simple. How could writing things down or setting aside 10 minutes for reflection really make a difference? But simplicity is your power. You are an earth sign. You thrive on what is solid, grounded, and real. And there is nothing more grounding than taking a swirling cloud of worry and turning it into a list you can hold in your hands. Try this tonight. Before you go to bed, write down the 3 things that weighed on your mind the most today. Do not try to solve them. Just name them. Put them on the page and close the notebook. What you will notice is that your sleep comes easier. Your body relaxes faster. And in the morning, when you open that notebook again, you will see those worries with fresh eyes. Many of them will feel smaller. Some of them will have answers that seem obvious now. And a few of them will simply not matter anymore. You might wonder why something so basic could have such a deep effect. The answer is simple. Your mind is not designed to hold everything at once. It is designed to process, decide, and move forward. But when you never externalize your thoughts, your mind has no way to complete that cycle. Just keep circling. Writing is the release valve. It lets the pressure out so your mind can finally do what it does best. Think clearly, one thing at a time. That is the power of giving your mind a place to land. It does not need to fly forever. It just needs somewhere safe to rest. If what you're hearing feels accurate, imagine what could happen if you applied this energy intentionally for 21 consecutive days. That's exactly what the 21-day program in the pinned comment is built for. Daily guidance, focused direction, and real momentum. If you're tired of staying in the same cycle, this is your structure. Tip 3. Reconnect with your body because your mind cannot reset alone. Here is something most people never think about when they talk about overthinking. It is not just a mental problem. It is a physical one. When your mind is racing, your body is holding tension. Your shoulders are tight. Your jaw is clenched. Your breathing is shallow. And that physical tension feeds the mental tension, which feeds the physical tension right back. It becomes a loop. And the only way to break it is to address both sides at the same time. As a Taurus, your body is one of your greatest assets. You are ruled by the senses. You experience the world through touch, taste, smell, sound, and sight more deeply than most signs. But when you are caught up in overthinking, you disconnect from all of that. You stop noticing the warmth of the sun on your skin. You stop tasting your food. You stop hearing the birds outside your window. You retreat into your head and leave your body behind. And that is when things start to unravel. The reset is simpler than you think. It starts with one intentional act of returning to your body. Stand up. Stretch your arms over your head. Feel the pull in your muscles. Roll your neck slowly from side to side. Press your feet flat on the floor and notice the ground beneath you. These are not just wellness tricks. For a Taurus, these are acts of coming home. You are an earth sign. Your power lives in your connection to the physical world. And every time you return to that connection, your mind gets quieter. Not because you forced it to stop, but because your body gave it permission to slow down. Walking is one of the most underrated tools a Taurus has. Not power walking, Not exercise walking, just walking, slowly, without a destination, without a podcast in your ears, without checking your phone every 2 minutes. Just you, your body, and the ground beneath your feet. When you walk like this, something shifts inside you. The thoughts that were tangled begin to untangle. The worries that felt urgent begin to feel manageable. And the clarity you were looking for in your head starts to arrive through your feet. There is also something profound about using your hands. Taurus energy loves to create, to build, to shape something real. When your hands are busy kneading dough, arranging flowers, folding laundry, pulling weeds from a garden, your mind has no choice but to follow. It comes back to the present moment because the present moment finally has something worth paying attention to. This is why so many Taurus people feel most at peace when they are making something. It is not just a hobby, it is medicine. It is the antidote to the spinning thoughts that keep you up at night. So today, right now, make a decision. Choose one physical act that brings you back to your body. It does not have to take long. 5 minutes is enough. But make it intentional. Make it real. And notice what happens to your mind when your body takes the lead. You might be surprised at how quickly the noise fades, and how clearly you can think when your feet are firmly on the ground. Tip 4. Stop carrying other people's emotions as if they were your own. There is a side of Taurus that not many people talk about. Underneath that strong, stable exterior, there is a heart that feels everything. You care deeply, sometimes too deeply. And one of the reasons your mind gets so cluttered is that you are not just processing your own emotions. You are processing everyone else's too. Your partner's stress becomes your stress. Your friend's sadness becomes your sadness. Your family member's worry becomes the thing that keeps you up at 3 in the morning, even though it has nothing to do with your life. This is not weakness. It is loyalty. It is love. It is the Taurus way of showing up for the people who matter. But here is what you need to understand. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And right now, your cup is not just empty. It has cracks in it, because you have been giving and giving and giving without ever stopping to ask yourself what you need. Without ever stopping to ask yourself whether the weight you are carrying actually belongs to you. Think about the last time you felt truly overwhelmed. Not busy, not tired, overwhelmed. The kind of feeling where your chest is tight and your thoughts are racing, and you cannot seem to find solid ground. Now ask yourself, how much of that feeling was actually yours? How much of it came from someone else's problems that you absorbed without realizing it? How much of it was you trying to fix something that was never yours to fix in the first place? This is not about becoming cold or distant. A Taurus could never be cold or distant, even if they tried. This is about learning to hold space for other people without losing yourself in the process. It is about understanding the difference between empathy and absorption. Empathy says, I see your pain and I am here for you. Absorption says, I will take your pain and carry it as my own. One of those is sustainable. The other will break you. The next time someone comes to you with their problems, and they will, because people always come to the Taurus, try something different. Listen fully. Be present. Offer your strength. But when the conversation ends, let it end. Do not take their story home with you. Do not replay it in your head for the next 3 days. Do not lie awake wondering if you said the right thing or if they are going to be okay. Trust that they have their own path, their own lessons, and their own strength. And trust that the best thing you can do for them is to keep yourself whole. This one shift alone will free up more mental space than you can imagine. Because half of what is cluttering your mind right now does not even belong to you. Let it go. Not because you do not care, but because caring for yourself is not selfish. It is necessary. Here is something else worth remembering. The people who love you do not want you to carry their pain. They come to you because your presence is comforting, not because they expect you to suffer alongside them. When you take on their burdens, you are not helping them more. You are just hurting yourself. And eventually, you will have nothing left to offer anyone, including yourself. The strongest version of you is not the one who absorbs everything. It is the one who knows where their heart ends and someone else's begins. And a Taurus who finally learns this becomes unstoppable. Tip 5. Let go of the need to control every outcome. If there is one thing that fuels overthinking more than anything else for a Taurus, it is the need to control. You want to know how things will turn out before they turn out. You want guarantees. You want certainty. You want to map the entire journey before you take the first step. and there is wisdom in that impulse. But there is also a cage, because life does not work that way. It never has. And the harder you try to control every outcome, the more anxious you become when things do not go according to plan. Think about the areas of your life where you feel the most stressed right now. Chances are they are the areas where you have the least control. A relationship that is not unfolding the way you hoped. A career situation that feels uncertain. A health concern that does not have clear answers. A family dynamic that keeps shifting no matter how hard you try to hold it steady. These are the things that keep your mind spinning, not because they are unsolvable, but because they are uncontrollable. And that distinction matters more than you might realize. Here is what the universe keeps trying to teach every Taurus who will listen. Control is an illusion. It always has been. You have never truly controlled a single outcome in your life. What you have done is shown up, done your best, and then watched the results unfold in ways you could not have predicted. Sometimes those results were better than you hoped. Sometimes they were painful. But in every single case, you survived. You adapted. You kept going. And you found your footing again, even when the ground beneath you shifted. So what would happen if you stopped trying to predict the ending and just let yourself be in the middle of the story? What would happen if you replaced the need to know with the willingness to trust? Not blind trust, not reckless trust, but the deep grounded trust that says, I have been through hard things before and I came out the other side and I will do it again. That is Taurus trust. It is not flimsy. It is not fragile. It is built on a lifetime of evidence that you are stronger than you give yourself credit for. The irony is that when you release the need to control, you actually gain more peace than control ever gave you. Because control is exhausting. It requires constant vigilance, constant monitoring, constant adjusting. And your mind never gets a break because it is always scanning for threats, always preparing for the worst, always running scenarios that may never happen. But trust is restful. Trust lets you breathe. Trust lets your mind quiet down because it knows, deeply knows, that whatever happens next, you will handle it. Start small. Pick one thing today that you have been trying to control and consciously release your grip on it. Just for today. Just for this one thing. Notice how it feels to let go. It might feel scary at first. That is normal. But underneath the fear, you will find something you have not felt in a while. Relief. And that relief is the beginning of your reset. Tip 6. Protect your morning before the world gets to it. Most Taurus people lose the battle against overthinking before they even get out of bed. And the reason is simple. They let the world in too fast. The first thing they do when they open their eyes is reach for their phone. They check messages. They scroll through news. They read emails that immediately create stress. And just like that, within 60 seconds of waking up, their mind is already racing. The day has barely started and they are already overwhelmed. This is not just a bad habit. It is a pattern that sets the tone for everything that follows. When your first waking moments are filled with other people's demands and the noise of the outside world, you never get the chance to find your own center. You spend the rest of the day reacting instead of responding, putting out fires instead of building something. And by the time evening comes, you are exhausted. Not from what you did, but from how you started. Here is a different way. Give yourself the first 30 minutes of every morning before you give yourself to anyone else. No phone, no news, no emails, no social media. Just you. Quiet, still, present. Use that time however it serves you best. Sit with a cup of tea or coffee and just be. Look out the window. Feel the warmth of the cup in your hands. Listen to the silence. Let your mind wake up slowly on its own terms, without being hijacked by the demands of the day. For a Taurus, this is not luxury. It is survival. Your sign needs grounding. You need time to settle into your body before you start engaging with the world. And when you skip that step, when you jump straight into the chaos, you spend the rest of the day trying to catch up to a sense of peace that you never had the chance to establish in the first place. It is like trying to build a house without laying the foundation. Everything feels shaky because it is. Some Taurus people resist this idea because they feel like they do not have time. The morning is too busy. There are too many things to do. But here is the truth. You do not have time not to do this. The 30 minutes you invest in your own peace will save you hours of scattered thinking, poor decisions, and emotional reactivity throughout the rest of the day. It is not about having more time. It is about using the time you have more wisely. And nothing is wiser than protecting your peace before the world has a chance to steal it. There is also something deeply powerful about establishing a morning ritual that is yours and yours alone. It becomes an anchor, a touchstone, a daily reminder that no matter what happens out there, you have a foundation in here. And over time, that foundation becomes so solid that the things that used to throw you off balance, the unexpected text, the difficult conversation, the stressful news, they start to bounce off you instead of breaking through. Not because you became hard, but because you became rooted. And that is the most Taurus thing you can do. Tomorrow morning, try it. Set your alarm 15 minutes earlier if you need to. Put your phone in another room. And give yourself the gift of starting the day on your own terms. You will feel the difference before the morning is over. And once you feel it, you will never want to go back. Tip 7. Stop rehearsing conversations that may never happen. There is a very specific form of overthinking that almost every Taurus knows well. It is the mental rehearsal, the imaginary conversation that you play out in your head, over and over, preparing for a confrontation that may never come. You think about what they might say, then you think about what you will say back, then you think about how they might react to that, and before you know it, you have had an entire argument in your head with someone who has no idea it happened. This is exhausting, and it is one of the biggest energy drains a Taurus faces, because you are not just thinking, you are feeling. Every imaginary word carries real emotion. Your heart rate increases, your jaw tightens, your stomach knots. Your body does not know the difference between a real conversation and a rehearsed one. It responds to both exactly the same way. So by the time you actually see the person, you are already emotionally spent. You have already lived through the conflict even though it never occurred. And here is the part that most people miss. The conversation you rehearsed in your head is almost never the conversation that actually happens. Not even close. Because you cannot predict what another person will say. You cannot predict their tone, their mood, their response. You are essentially writing a script and casting someone else in a role they never auditioned for. And when reality does not match the script, you feel even more off balance than if you had gone in with no expectations at all. So what do you do instead? You prepare without rehearsing. There is a difference. Preparing means knowing what you want to say and why it matters to you. Rehearsing means running every possible scenario until your brain is fried. Preparing takes 5 minutes. Rehearsing can take 5 days. One gives you clarity, the other steals your peace. The next time you catch yourself in a mental rehearsal, stop. Take a breath and ask yourself one question. Is this conversation happening right now? If the answer is no, then you are spending real energy on an imaginary event. You are draining your battery for something that does not exist yet and may never exist at all. Instead, write down the 1 or 2 things you want the other person to understand. That is your preparation. That is enough. Let go of the rest. Let go of predicting their reaction. Let go of scripting the perfect comeback. Let go of needing to win an argument that has not started. A Taurus who learns to stop rehearsing gains back an enormous amount of mental freedom. Because so much of what clutters your mind is not real. It is projected. It is feared. It is imagined. And the moment you stop giving energy to imaginary conflicts, you suddenly have energy for the things that actually matter. Real connections, real joy, real presence. And here is something else that might surprise you. When you do finally have that conversation, the real one, not the rehearsed one, you will show up better than you ever could have by preparing obsessively. Because you will be present, you will be listening, you will be responding to what is actually happening instead of reacting to a script that only existed in your mind. The best conversations are not planned, they are felt. And a Taurus who trusts their own steadiness in the moment is far more powerful than one who spent 5 days memorizing lines. That is the reset. Not forcing your mind to stop thinking, but refusing to waste your thoughts on things that are not real. Tip 8. Build one small routine and let it anchor your entire day. If there is one thing that separates a peaceful Taurus from an overwhelmed one, it is this routine. Not a complicated schedule, not a rigid system. Just one small, consistent thing that you do every single day without fail. Something that grounds you. Something that reminds your nervous system that there is still order in the world, even when everything else feels chaotic. It could be a 5-minute walk after lunch, could be making your bed every morning. It could be drinking a glass of water before you do anything else when you wake up. The specific action does not matter nearly as much as the consistency of it. Here is why this works so powerfully for your sign. Taurus is the sign of stability. You are wired for rhythm. You thrive when there is a dependable pattern to your days. And when that pattern is missing, when every day feels random and reactive and unpredictable, your mind goes into overdrive trying to create order out of chaos. That is where the overthinking comes from. It is your brain's attempt to impose structure on a life that feels structureless. But the brain is a terrible architect. It builds walls of worry instead of foundations of peace. When you give your day even one reliable anchor point, everything else starts to organize around it. Your mind relaxes because it knows that no matter what happens, there is at least one thing that is stable, one thing that is predictable, one thing that is within your control, and that one thing becomes the seed from which calm grows. Think about the times in your life when you felt the most at peace. Chances are, those were times when you had some kind of routine. Maybe it was a period when you were cooking dinner every evening, or a time when you were walking in nature every morning, or a season when you had a regular practice of sitting quietly before bed. Those were not peaceful times because everything in your life was going well. They were peaceful times because you had something steady to return to, regardless of what was happening around you. The mistake most people make is thinking they need to overhaul their entire life to feel different. They create elaborate morning routines with 12 steps. They download 5 apps. They buy journals and planners and set 17 alarms. And within a week, they have abandoned all of it because it was too much. A Taurus does not need more. A Taurus needs enough. And enough is one thing. One reliable, repeatable, grounding thing that you can do without willpower, without motivation, without even thinking about it. Something so simple that there is no excuse not to do it. Start today. Choose your anchor. Make it small. Make it easy. And then do it every single day without exception. Do not skip it because you are busy. Do not abandon it because it feels insignificant. The significance is not in the action itself. It is in the repetition. It is in the message that repetition sends to your nervous system. You are safe, you are steady, and the ground beneath you is not going anywhere. After a week, you will notice a subtle shift. After a month, you will feel like a different person. Not because one small routine changed your life, but because one small routine reminded your body and your mind that stability still exists. And for a Taurus, that reminder is everything. Some people watch, others transform. If you want to be in the second group, the 21-day guide in the pinned comment gives you a clear step-by-step process aligned with your sign. This isn't about waiting, it's about moving. Tip 9. Stop measuring your progress by someone else's timeline. There is a quiet form of pain that many Taurus people carry without ever naming it. It is the feeling of being behind. Behind where you thought you would be by now. Behind where other people seem to be. Behind some invisible schedule that you never agreed to but somehow feel bound by. And this feeling, this constant comparison, is one of the deepest roots of overthinking for your sign. You look at someone your age who seems to have it all figured out. The career, the relationship, the home, the peace of mind. And you think, what am I doing wrong? Why am I still here while they are already there? Why is everything taking so long for me? And those questions do not have answers, because they are based on a false premise. The premise that everyone is on the same path. That progress looks the same for every person. That there is a universal clock ticking somewhere, and you are falling behind its rhythm. But there is no universal clock. There never was. Your path is yours. Its timeline is yours. Its milestones are yours. And comparing your chapter 3 to someone else's chapter 12 is not just unfair. It is inaccurate. You do not know what it cost them to get where they are. You do not know what they sacrificed. You do not know what they are struggling with behind closed doors. You are comparing your full, complex, real life to a highlight reel. And that comparison will never produce anything except shame, frustration, and more overthinking. Here is what the universe wants you to know as a Taurus. You are not slow. You are thorough. There is a difference. When you build something, it is solid. When you commit to something, it is lasting. When you make a decision, it is well considered. These are not weaknesses. These are the qualities that make everything you create stand the test of time. But they take time. And in a world that celebrates speed, Taking time can feel like falling behind. It is not. It is building something real. Think about a tree. A tree does not compare its growth to the flower beside it. The flower blooms quickly, brightly, beautifully, but it fades just as fast. The tree grows slowly, year after year, ring by ring, and when the storm comes, the flower is gone, but the tree stands. You are the tree. You have always been the tree. And the fact that your growth is slow and steady does not mean it is less. It means it is more durable, more lasting, more deeply rooted. So the next time your mind starts spinning with comparisons, the next time you see someone else's success and feel that familiar ache of not enough, pause. Remind yourself of everything you have built, everything you have survived, every quiet victory that no one saw but you. Those matter. They are your proof that you are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. And the things that are meant for you, the love, the abundance, the peace, they are not late. They are on their way. And when they arrive, they will be worth every moment of patience it took to wait for them. Tip 10. Choose rest before you are forced into it. This is the tip that most Taurus people need to hear the most and resist the most, because somewhere along the way you learn that rest is earned, that you have to push yourself to the edge before you deserve to stop, that taking a break when there is still work to do is lazy, that sitting down when things are unfinished is irresponsible, and that belief, that deeply ingrained belief, is one of the main reasons your mind never turns off. You do not rest because you feel like you have not done enough yet. So your brain keeps working, keeps planning, keeps worrying, keeps running through the list of things that still need to happen. And by the time you finally allow yourself to stop, you are not just tired. You are depleted. You are running on empty. You are so far past your limit that rest does not even feel good anymore. It just feels like damage control. This is not sustainable. And deep down, you know that. You know that the way you have been operating is slowly wearing you down. You know that the headaches, the tension, the sleepless nights, the short temper, these are not just stress. They are signals. Your body is trying to tell you something and you keep ignoring it because there is always one more thing to do. Here is the radical idea that will change your life if you let it. Rest is not the reward for work. It is the fuel for it. You do not rest because you finished everything. You rest so that you can finish anything at all. Rest is not what happens at the end of the journey. It is what makes the journey possible. And the Taurus who learns to rest before they are forced into it, before the burnout, before the breakdown, before the body gives out, that Taurus is the one who builds a life that actually lasts. Think about it this way. You would never drive your car until the engine catches fire and then say, well, I guess it is time for an oil change. You take care of the car before it breaks down. You maintain it. You fuel it. You give it what it needs so that it can keep going. Why would you treat yourself with less care than you treat your vehicle? Why would you push yourself past the point of function and then wonder why everything hurts? Starting today, choose rest before your body demands it. Do not wait for exhaustion to give you permission. Give yourself permission right now. Take a nap without guilt. Go to bed early without apology. Sit in a quiet room and do nothing without feeling like you should be somewhere else doing something else. These are not signs of laziness. These are signs of wisdom. And for a Taurus, wisdom is the highest form of strength. Your body knows what it needs. Your mind knows what it needs. And 9 times out of 10, the answer is not more effort. It is more stillness, more quiet, more space to breathe. The overthinking that has been following you around, it is not going to be defeated by working harder. It is going to dissolve the moment you give yourself permission to stop fighting, to stop pushing, to stop proving that you are enough. Because you already are. You have always been. If you have made it this far, something in these words was meant for you, not just as advice, but as a mirror, a reflection of where you are right now and where you are ready to go. Every single tip you heard today was chosen for your energy, for the specific patterns that a Taurus falls into when life gets heavy and the mind gets loud. And the fact that you listened, that you stayed, tells me something important about you. You are ready. Not tomorrow, not someday. Now, the world needs you grounded. The people around you need you whole. And you deserve to feel the kind of peace that does not depend on everything going right, but lives inside you regardless. That peace is not far away. It is right here, right now, in the decision to stop overthinking and start living. In the choice to trust your body, protect your morning, release what is not yours, and rest before you break. You are a Taurus, and that means you are built for the long road. Not the fast one, the long one. The one that is rich and full and deeply satisfying. The one that is worth every slow, steady, beautiful step. Do not let anyone rush you. Do not let the noise of the world drown out the wisdom of your own heart. You know the way. You have always known. And now, it is time to walk it. Everything you need is already within you. The strength, the patience, the resilience. It has always been there, even when the overthinking made you doubt it. It never left, and it never will, because it is who you are. So take a breath, a real one, deep into your lungs. Feel your feet on the floor, and know that you are going to be okay. More than okay. You are going to thrive, because a Taurus who stops overthinking and starts trusting does not just survive. They build something beautiful, and that is exactly what you are about to do. You have two options after this video. Close it and hope things shift, or decide that the next 21 days will be different. If you choose the second, the structured 21-day transformation aligned with your sign is waiting in the pinned comment. The energy is already moving, the only question is whether you are.